Welcome to the Amy McManus Show on AM 1480. The death of the Cash for Clunkers program. The federal government has said it will close this Monday at 8 p.m. However, thousands of dealers across the country closed it off yesterday, Friday, as well as today, Saturday. Of course, we had that $1 billion program started in July, was supposed to last till October, put another $2 billion into it, said we could get it to go maybe mid-September. And obviously it hasn't worked. According to the Wall Street Journal, they said a big wave of summer buyers, as well as administrative bottlenecks, have prompted these car dealerships to end the program early, as well as prompting the administration to end the program early. And these bottlenecks that they're talking about is hundreds of dealers across the country who have not been reimbursed for that $4,500 credit. Millions of dollars in assets that they've got bottled up in the Cash for Clunkers program. They say that everything seems 90% of it is pending, i.e. waiting for the government bureaucracy and the paperwork to come through. So, maybe they'll get a nice little Christmas present and the government will get its act together, or maybe next year, but who knows? The Wall Street Journal also had a report about Chrysler Group. They are now Fiat. And they're going to produce the Italian automaker's Fiat 500 subcompact at a Chrysler plant in Mexico. So we've got Chrysler, which was bought out by the American taxpayer dollar, taken over by the Italian car maker Fiat, will now be manufacturing their biggest seller in Mexico. And the Chrysler spokesperson has no comment on the Mexican venture. I also saw this interesting article, a website called ProPublica.com. It's a conservative website. And back in July, they asked this company called Smartronix for some information. They applied for a FOIL request, asking for some documentation. Smartronix landed an $18 million contract to build this website, recovery.gov, where you can go on and you can track where the stimulus bills are going. It was supposed to be part of the Obama administration's effort for being transparent, and so that we, the taxpayer, could find out where our dollars were going. Apparently, when they asked the government, after there was weeks of prodding, this ProPublica website, to release the contract that was signed by Smartronix and the White House, so that they could look at it. They kept refusing. They kept, putting it off. So they finally caved and sent this contract between Smartronix and the administration, to ProPublica. So they finally get it and look at it. And they're not very impressed. Apparently there are dozens and dozens of pages and paragraphs that have been blacked out. They are illegible. Some of those pages are, names and backgrounds of key personnel. That's blocked out. Number of visitors expected at recovery.gov is blocked out. Traffic spikes, those numbers are blocked. Some sections of the contract were removed in their entirety, including the management structure of the contract. Strategic Advisory Council, which is apparently running this thing, that was blocked out. Quality assurance procedures, user experience, site navigation, 4 completely unidentified pages on which everything, even the headings, have been redacted. Every piece of information on the document's pricing table have been blocked, including function, vendor, model, part, detail, and quantity. So it's a 59-page document, this contract between Smartronix and the administration, and 25 pages of it have been blocked out completely. Another 14 pages have had half or more of their contact of that information blocked out. So we're doing real well on the transparency. Speaking of transparency, out in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, a U.S. District federal judge, Karen Schreier, ended a lawsuit filed by Planned Parenthood. They filed this lawsuit in 2005 against the informed consent laws that they have in South Dakota. And she upheld that law. She sided with the state in ruling that doctors must make the biological disclosure that, quote, an abortion will terminate the life of a whole, separate, unique, living human being, unquote. But Schreier said the doctors can also provide more information. They can talk about the language of those words, including what does a living human being mean in a biological sense or a ideological sense. She also ruled in favor of Planned Parenthood by concluding that pregnant women did not need to be told that abortion increases the likelihood of suicide. And she also would not let them tell prospective women that they may already have an existing relationship with the fetus strictly based on biology. Both sides are claiming a victory. In this case, Mimi Liu, an attorney for Planned Parenthood, said, quote, we're relieved our doctors have the ability to use their best medical judgment to explain and make sure what women understand is biological and factual information and not an ideological mandate from the state. And Leslie Unruh, founder of Alpha Center Pregnancy Counseling Center in Sioux Falls, said that the human being ruling is significant, and she said this is the unraveling of Roe versus Wade. This is a huge fatal blow. Both sides are trying to decide whether they want to appeal that court decision. So a little bit of a victory for pro-lifers in South Dakota. Also on the abortion issue, we had a while back the recent nominee for Surgeon General, Regina Benjamin. She's the one that everybody was complaining that she was too chubby to be the Surgeon General. And when her name was first touted about, Bill Donahue, president of the Catholic League, praised Obama for his selection. He called her an African-American Catholic public servant. He said, quote, President Obama picked the right person to be the new Surgeon General. Dr. Benjamin is a hero to all those victimized by Hurricanes Katrina and Rita. Her tireless and selfless efforts are a model for all physicians, unquote. Mr. Donahue has had a little bit of a change of heart. He's backtracked a bit. I'm sure he's a little embarrassed. He's finding out some things that make him a little uncomfortable with touting Ms. Benjamin's credentials, because Benjamin when she served on the board of the AMA, the American Medical Association, she strongly urged that all future physicians must be taught how to perform abortions. Right now, it's sort of an optional thing. And she also thought they need to be equipped with knowledge to perform abortion better. She wants abortion at the center of education of our doctors. She also is into promoting the legalization of abortion in other countries, most specifically pro-life countries. She believes that's an injustice. She currently serves on the board of Physicians for Human Rights, which is an international group that aims to pressure pro-life nations into adopting abortion rights. While she was on the board, she opposed President Bush's Mexico City policy, which prohibits federal funding abroad with our tax dollars. She also supports to ratify the CEDAW, which is that UN treaty that promotes, a lot of radical abortion practices, abortion on 9-year-olds, and they don't call them forced abortions, but strongly urged abortions that are pretty much forced. By the way, she calls herself a devout Catholic and was once quoted as saying, quote, church was always a very important part of my life. I believe I am carrying on in the healing ministry of Christ. I feel obligated to help continue his works. I do have a little bit of a theological background, and I'm pretty sure that in Scripture I don't recall Jesus exhorting women to kill children in their wombs. He did say, let the children come to me, but, it's all gray. It's all up for interpretation. So Ms. Benjamin, I'm sure, is using her intellect on this. So hopefully Bill Donahue will retract his exhortation of Ms. Benjamin. You're listening to the Amy McManus Show on AM 1480 WLEA. Welcome back to the Amy McManus Show on AM 1480 WLEA. I do want to talk about healthcare again. An interesting interview I saw this past